This is real, y'all. This is the movie, bros. Along with all the extra little details that we have spoiled in the past. And I'll mention some of the details while we read this. This movie is going to start off with Tobey Maguire in his Earth, his universe. And Deadpool and Wolverine arrive with a machine that Beast built. The machine destroys, it's a bomb, and it basically destroys the planet. Now what's happening, because they're not going to explain it, but I will explain it because I'm a nerd. I know this. Incursions are happening. When incursions happening is that two universes clash into each other, meaning two worlds, identical Earths, crash into each other and get destroyed. You know, and that's it. That's what it means. And that's what's happening. Tobey Maguire's Earth is crashing in from another universe into fucking Wolverine and Deadpool's Earth. But the X-Men figure out that the only way to fucking, and this is in the comic books, the only way to survive is to destroy the other Earth. Because you're both going to crash into each other. So they send Wolverine and Deadpool, because they can't die, they send them over to go drop off a bomb that Beast made. This is how the movie starts. And Tobey Maguire gets there and begins to fight Wolverine. And Wolverine tells Deadpool, yo, fucking turn the bomb on. And so Deadpool's fixing the bomb while Wolverine's fighting Spider-Man. He's fighting Tobey Maguire, Hugh Jackman. Deadpool turns the bomb on, and he opens the portal and tells Wolverine, let's go. And Logan tells Deadpool, get out of here, Wade, now. I'll hold him off. I have to make sure he doesn't stop the bomb from going off. So Wolverine fights fucking Tobey Maguire and shit. And their Earth explodes, according to this. But I'm telling you, this is what's gonna happen. Everyone on Tobey Maguire's Earth dies, including Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. Or at least, that's what they want you to believe. So then Deadpool gets back to his universe, and it says that Charles Xavier watches the Earth get destroyed, and he's sad. But that's the only choice they had. And then we cut back in time, a flashback into Tony Stark's funeral. And we see Steve saying bye to some of the heroes and talking to them, including Ant-Man. And he's probably going to say something to him about time travel. And he goes back to return to Stones. We see all that. And then he see the scene where he stays with Peggy. And it says that they end up having a son named Jim. And then one day, out of the blue, Loki walks in. And this is actually in the trailer that we've seen, where we think Steve gets there in a motorcycle and walks into his house. You see the shadow of somebody walking up to the door. That's not Steve. That's actually Loki. So Loki gets there and he tells him, hey, bro. And this is Loki from before the end of season 2, when he's just time skipping and shit. And he tells him about the TVA, and he tells him that they're going to prune the timeline because he was not supposed to be there or have a son. So he offers him a way out. He says, I can take you to a universe where you don't even exist and you can live there in peace. And so he takes them to the Fantastic Four's universe so he can live there. And before he leaves, Loki gives Steve a little card and tells him, this is how you can call me in the TVA and reach me. Well, there's a scene in Fantastic Four, and it's a microsecond scene. I don't have it. I'm sorry. I'm not prepared. Where you see a little boy and his father watching the screen as they're showing the Fantastic Four in the montage. That's actually Steve and his son. And in the movie, they filmed the scene, but they decided not to put it in. They thought about showing us that Steve was already there. But they just, because the end of credit scene was actually going to be Steve Rogers meeting them in their universe. But they decided to cut that out instead and change it. Steve and his family lived there for 10 years in the Fantastic Four universe in secret. From then on, we get to the scene that we saw in the end of the Fantastic Four, where Doctor Doom is with Sue and Franklin. And when she sees him, where it went black or whatever the screen, we find out that they know each other. Oh, she's going to be like, oh, hi, Victor, how are you doing? And they're friends. Doom tells her that he wants to speak to Reed because he knows something bad is coming, an incursion. And he tells them he's got a plan. Now, this is something that they don't say in this thing, but I'm going to let you all know that what I theorized actually is because, no, Merkaba, it's not fake. This is aligning with all the leaks. Merkaba, your sources are lying. Fuck you. How dare you, Merkaba, you son of a bitch. God damn it. Cheers, motherfucker.
Woke Pack, full live.
I said a long time ago that Robert Downey Jr. is playing a variant. That we're all wrong. That he's simply just playing Victor Von Doom. Dr. Doom's face will only be revealed at the beginning when he talks to the Fantastic Four, because they know him already. They know him on a personal level, so you'll see him without the mask. The audience will see him without the mask. After that, he puts the mask on, and he never takes it off. No one ever sees that he looks like Tony Stark, except for us, and obviously Reed Richards and the Fantastic Four, who already know him. But they don't know Tony Stark, so it doesn't matter to them. And no one in the MCU will see him how he looks. He will be scarred. Anyways, he tells them that he has a fucking plan, and the plan is they have to go to the Avengers universe and talk to them, and he has a plan. And so then they go, and Dr. Doom tells them, hey, scan the planet to see if there's anybody from another universe here. And Reed scans the planet, and they find Steve Rogers, and they go and talk to him, and they tell him all these things, and they tell him, you're part of the problem because you're not supposed to be here, motherfucker. So come with us. We'll go back to your original universe. We'll talk to your group of friends, and we'll try to figure this out. And so in the ship that we see in the Thunderbolts that's arriving, that ship inside has the Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom, and Captain America in it. And so they arrive, and they talk to the Avengers, and they tell them Doom's plan, and they get, Namor, and they get everyone together because all this shit's happening, and they split up into teams. They said, we gotta go. One of the teams start building this fucking machine that we need on this Earth. We're gonna go to the X-Men's Earth and tell them that they need to build a machine on their Earth. Half of them go to the X-Men universe. And when they get there, the X-Men, because we saw in the beginning of the movie, have already been dealing with incursions, and they have destroyed multiple universes to stay alive. And so they're already on the edge, and a lot of them have died. By this time, Jean Grey has died. They're going to say Storm, the people they couldn't get because they were probably asking for too much money. They're never going to come out and say, but they probably did ask for too much money. And then probably when they see how cool and badass this is, they're going to take a smaller paycheck to come back for Secret Wars. But anyways, those idiots. When they get to the X-Men universe, the X-Men are going to freak out. And they're going to think, hey, these guys, they're coming over here to destroy our Earth. They know what's happening. They know our plan, so they're coming over here to destroy our Earth. And so that's why we get the X-Men versus the Avengers. They're going to be badass. But eventually it all stops or whatever. And they all explain. Dr. Doom tells them, we need to build a machine over here and blah, blah, blah. And they split up into teams. And they're trying to figure out the problem and shit. This whole time, Doom has been... Because Doom is the master of the mystic arts. He's basically Doctor Strange and Iron Man together. And so I don't know what they're going to explain. Probably he's been in two places at once, by the way. That's probably how it's going to go. He could probably split himself and do some shit. But what's going on, and he's gathering a team of his own people, his own followers. And they're going to be in Latveria on his Earth, which is, I guess, the Fantastic Four's Earth, in Latveria, in his castle. And that's where his plan's going to come. And his plan is that he needs to go and take Loki's power and then let the incursions happen. He needs to let the Earth get destroyed, the universe gets destroyed, because apparently they're the last. Once everything dies, he can absorb Loki's power and then rewrite everything. And they're going to explain that when Doom first realized the incursions were happening, he was doing experiments trying to figure it out. And his wife and his kids died during one of those experiments, and he got fucking disfigured and burnt. And that's why he has to wear the suit that he wears and shit to be alive, his Iron Man suit. And so then what he wants to do is let everything die, absorb Loki's power, and then recreate the world again with his family there with him. Resurrect him. And so that's what he wants to do. So he gathers all these other people on his side. And in the comic books, he convinces Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange realizes that there is nothing's going to stop the incursions. That this is the end of everything for all time, period. And there's nothing that can stop them. There's no solution, because he can sit there and look at all these probabilities and shit. He's going to realize that there's nothing he can do. But Doom came up with the one solution. Doom can absorb Loki's power and recreate everything. And Doom has promised Strange that he will do it so that everybody has the perfect life. Basically House of M. Right? Doom has also recruited not only Doctor Strange, but he has recruited Wanda. He has resurrected her and recruited her. He resurrects her with Franklin's help and recruits her and tells her, we can recreate the world and bring your children back and they'll be alive. And your dad and everybody else. Your brother, your whole family. Basically House of M. And she agrees, of course, because Wanda's crazy and a psychopath and she doesn't give a fuck about nobody. So this is what's happening behind the scenes that they're going to reveal to us at the end of the movie, right? So what happens is that Thor talks to fucking Steve Rogers, and Steve Rogers tells him, hey, I saw Loki. Loki came to me and he's the one who saved me, and he took me to another universe, and he's still alive. And Thor says, you need to take me to him. I need to talk to my brother. Steve Rogers uses that little card that Loki gave him in the beginning of the movie. Yeah, and they go to the TVA. It opens the door, and they go to the TVA. And when they get to the TVA, they start seeing fucking Mobius. Fucking that guy, what's his name? With the big nose. Yeah. That guy, Mobius, they find him dead. And then they find Hunter B-12 dead. And they find all these TVA people dead. And then they get to the throne where Loki is supposed to be sitting, and he's dead. Basically, Doom took Loki's powers. Now, just because he took Loki's powers doesn't mean he can rewrite the universe. He needs to let everything die before he can rewrite everything. And so, then the Avengers, the X-Men, and the Fantastic Four all regroup. They all figure out Doom's plan, that he fucked us all over. Everything's gonna get destroyed. He lied to us. These machines are not gonna work. We need to go back to the Fantastic Four's universe, to Latveria, and fight Doom. So they all go. And they have this huge fight when they get there. And they realize Doom has an army. And they find out, like I said, everybody looks like Doom bots. Basically, they all look like Dr. Doom. They have masks just like Dr. Doom. And like I said, it's going to be revealed that Doctor Strange is under one of those. And so is Wanda. And there's probably going to be Namor. I bet you Namor 100% is going to betray them. And he's going to be fucking fighting on Doom's side. They say there's going to be a lot of people you wouldn't expect to suddenly, at the end, turn up to be on Doom's side. It doesn't give details, but it does say they're going to be on Doom's side. Once they take their masks off, the people are going to be like, what the fuck? And so then everyone's fighting as the universes are colliding and crashing into each other. Everyone's fighting. Everyone dies, because that's what's going to happen, and that's what's supposed to happen. Everything all of a sudden goes blank, turns white, and then slowly you see fuzziness, and then you see clear, and then there's like you see like a new fucking place. And this is Battle World, what we know from the comic books. I don't know what they're gonna call it in the MCU, but from the concept art, it's gonna look like Game of Thrones. It's gonna look like back in the day, you know, and like really medieval type of shit, but modern, medieval, modernish and shit. And everyone's gonna have a sort of perfect life, you know. We've seen the concept art. Fucking Vision is hanging out with Star-Lord, they're roommates. All the Hulks are together as a family. I skipped a part, but it's very important because this is gonna be in the movie. Is Thor, when he prays to Odin, we've seen that in the trailer when he's praying to Odin. Odin sends an army from fucking Valhalla to help him. And you're going to see Heimdall, and you're going to see Lady Thor, Jane Aston, come back, or whatever her name is, come back to fight in the final battle against Doom's people. Doesn't matter, because Doom becomes God and rewrites the universe. And at the end, you're going to see Doom sitting on his fucking throne. Basically, everybody worships him as God, King. And everybody lives the perfect life. And everything's perfect. Again, for him. And that's how the movie's going to end. The end of credit scenes, I am telling you, even though this is not saying it, I'm calling it right now. It is going to reveal, because there was a leak last week, it is going to reveal that during the scene when Tobey Maguire and Wolverine were fighting to the death and the bomb exploded and the world died, it's going to show something we didn't see. And what it's going to show us is that the Watcher, for the first time in the MCU, will be live action. The Watcher will appear. He will grab Wolverine and Tobey Maguire and save them. Pull them away as everything gets destroyed. Because in Secret Wars, Tobey Maguire and Wolverine will probably be the main characters, bro. They will be the ones who started the rebellion. They're going to be the ones that start the rebellion, and they probably are going to get the other. They're going to recruit. The Watcher's going to help them recruit the other heroes. Something tells me they're going to recruit, obviously, Andrew Garfield and Peter Parker, because Brand New Day is probably going to end. I've theorized already. Brand New Day is going to end with Tom Holland's world just being destroyed and him not knowing what's happening. Like, what the fuck's happening? Everything's dying. And because Brand New Day is happening at the same time as Doomsday. So he doesn't know because he's having his own adventure. That's why the Hulk is not going to be part of Doomsday. Because there's a separate Avengers. And so he's just going to, at the end of his movie, at the end of credit scene, my guess is he's going to see everything getting destroyed and what's happening. And then a portal opens. Wolverine and Tobey Maguire are there, and they grab him and pull him away. Because the Watcher is already making a team. The Watcher is making a team. It's not the TVA, because the TVA is going to get massacred by Doctor Doom. The Watcher is the one who is making the team to save everyone in Secret Wars. And that is the movie.
Wolfpack for life.